They tell you it's an investment in yourself. So you sign, you grind, then you graduate. In that moment, it hits you. The signature, still here. Every month, every dream on hold. Travel, too expensive. Take a risk, too risky. But here's the thing. I'm done letting it define me. Turning this frustration into something real is how I take my power back. After I said to myself, I'm done letting a past decision define my future, I started thinking about my own path. Back in 2017, I had this idea to start a YouTube channel because I kept getting these downloads and these ideas. And I didn't care about money, fame, followers. I just needed a space for me to share them. But like most people, I procrastinated because I was afraid of what other people might think. As a matter of fact, I wasn't even sure someone would actually care. And that fear, it still creeps in sometimes. So eventually I mustered up the courage to actually start. And now being here, I sometimes ask myself, can I really turn this passion into something full-time? Or do I enjoy it just as a hobby? This made me realize how much we're taught from childhood to go to school, get a degree, get a job, retire. And in a way, there is value in that. It teaches you discipline, structure, and focus. But I do believe that path is slowly dying because the world is changing, Opportunities are everywhere, especially now with AI and this digital space, social media, YouTube, Instagram, etc. We don't have to stick to one job anymore. We don't have to feel trapped by one single choice we made when we were young. I don't know about you, but I remember being barely 18 or 16 even, and I already had to choose the direction I believed at the time I wanted to go into. But as I sit here and speak this out loud, I realize I did choose to go the path of mental health and care. And it's funny that one way or another, I still found myself right here on YouTube creating videos about self-improvement and mental health. And the realization I had about taking the traditional route, like I said, go to school, get a job, retire, aren't the only way to live. Because creativity, passion, and multiple streams of work are 100% valid. Also powerful if you know how to use them to create an extra stream of income. Something that I'm figuring out still. But I love this journey. I just love to experiment and discover what works and what doesn't work. Being told to get a real job, something that a lot of people say when you say you're a YouTuber, content creator, or an artist. In my opinion, it is basically those people being mad at themselves for not having the courage to actually take that route. Because I 1000% believe that creativity teaches you to listen to yourself, especially when you get those downloads, those ideas. Creativity teaches you to explore your curiosities, your interests. And it also teaches you how to adapt when life changes. And because we were indoctrinated by doing the right thing, choosing the traditional path, we spend so much time worrying about following someone else's definition of success. And what happens is we forget to ask ourselves, what do I actually really want? What sparks my creativity and what lights me up? And when we lose touch with that, we tend to get into a burnout, something that I've personally experienced. Not to say that I don't like my job, but it is not something I'm willing to do till I'm ready to retire. And since I'm almost 37 by now, I have a long way to go. And I don't see myself doing this for a long term anymore. And the thing that keeps me going is being creative, is creating content, is being online and experiment with the things I love to do. And it doesn't really matter anymore whether I get 0 views, 100 views, 1,000 views. Yes, it's nice. But my focus is on, like I said before, what do I really want? What sparks my creativity? What keeps me going? And this is exactly what keeps me going. Finding ways to create cinematic content with talking head videos. I digress a little bit, but let's go back. Putting yourself on social media is one of the scariest things you can do. And I say that because I've experienced all those things, from having the idea, being paralyzed, procrastinating, and actually taking action. It took me like 5 years or so. And in a way, I do regret that, but at the same time, I don't, because I had to go through those experiences in order for me to sit here and talk to you. So I'm grateful for that. And the beautiful thing is, usually afterwards, we can sit and connect the dots and realize, you know what? That was the reason I had to go through that thing. In the moment, it feels bad. It feels like you wasted so much time, but it's a blessing if you choose to look at it as a blessing. And being scared and choosing not to start because you're afraid will keep you exactly there, because the fear only dissipates when you actually start taking action. And if you sit and wait, you might never start. The thing is, there is no perfect moment to start. The perfect moment is right now. There's also no guarantee that your channel might take off, but does it really matter? As I say this, I hear myself say, in a way it does, but at the same time it doesn't. If this is something that keeps you going, gives you energy, sparks your creativity, this is the thing you should be doing. The beautiful thing I know though is that once you choose to commit to something as a hobby, if you go on long enough, eventually doors will start opening up to you. It might not always be the thing you expected. For example, I never expected to be here and create these type of videos because I wanted to do a podcast, right? And slowly but surely, I'm starting to realize that this is probably not a podcast channel anymore. But you know what? It doesn't matter. That's a beautiful thing, because if I would have chosen to sit on the sidelines, still waiting like I did 5 years ago, I never would have ever found out what I love doing. I don't know if that sentence made sense, but I hope you're following me. You know, being a content creator, no matter how big or small, it's hard work, especially if you're a small channel, because you still feel like you don't know what's working, if it will ever work, and the self-doubt sometimes can be brutal. But that's why I believe in having a community though. It might be actually following someone on school or Instagram or YouTube or whatever. Either way, find your tribe, because this will help you to keep going, especially on days you feel like you don't want to do anything. And trust me, you will have a lot of those moments, especially when it feels like you have no audience whatsoever. And don't choose to use the excuse, I don't have the right camera, I don't have the right equipment, because you have your phone. Even if it's an old iPhone or Samsung, you still have a camera on your phone. Use that. I remember holding myself back by saying that I don't have the right equipment, until I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to start. I'm going to use my phone, no matter how shitty the quality was. Right now, I have 2 cameras. I'm recording on a DJI Osmo Nano. I think is the right name for it. And I also have a DJI Action 5. They shoot in 4K. That's not the point of this video though, but all I'm saying is eventually you can, if you have the finances, you can upgrade your gear, right? But not having the right equipment shouldn't be an excuse. All I know is that when you decide to start, no matter how small the progress, it is still progress. Every action, every choice, even the mistakes, they all add up. You know, taking action on the things you say you have interest in, build your confidence. Because if you say to yourself, I'm going to do something, and you actually follow through, it teaches you that you are worthy of doing those things. You know, I realized that the easiest way is to say, you know, I'm afraid, I'm not going to do it, it's not going to work. And again, there's no guarantee that it will actually work. But all I know is I'm not satisfied with the life I'm living right now when it comes to the way I'm earning my money. So what other choice do I have? If I sit here and keep complaining about not being satisfied and not doing anything, that's on me. 5 years from now, that's on me. So that's why I'm doing anything and everything I can to change the trajectory of my life. You know, whenever you feel like there's nobody watching, by the way, this is something I experienced a couple of months back. Whenever you feel like there's nobody watching, be careful, because you never know who's watching. I had The Answer reach out to me a couple of months back, telling me that they like my content and they wanted me to promote one of their plugins, right? I never experienced that to happen, and I'm happy it did. Right on time though, because I was on the verge of giving up, and this came my way, and I was like, oh my God, wow. Even though it might feel like something small right now, if I chose to sit on the sidelines and wait till I'm ready, I never would have gotten this opportunity. By the way, I'll put a discount code in the description. The Answer, one of the best plugins I've ever tested. So if you're interested to upgrade your videos, check it out. Anyway, back to the topic. If you don't like something, change it. If you have goals, go after them. And I'm going to keep repeating this in these videos, because repetition is going to help something stick. One important thing before I forget. At the beginning of the video, I was talking about student loans, right? Basically, that inspired me to create this video, because if we connect it to think about 9 to 5, right? Making money, sitting in a cubicle. A couple of months back, I went to Thailand, and it changed my perspective completely. I noticed that the freedom you can experience, even though it was on my vacation time, I realized I never want to go back to a cubicle. Right now, I feel like I don't have a choice, because I still need the money to pay for my rent and my utilities, right? But it pushed me even more to start working on my YouTube channel, even if it means starting from scratch, in order for me to change my life, in order for me to change the way I earn money. I have no idea how this is going to go, but all I know is that, like I said before, what other choice do I have? I can sit and keep complaining, or I can decide to do something in order for it to change whatever's coming my way. Because one thing I know for sure, if I sit here and wait till I'm ready to retire, I will definitely regret it, and I don't want that. You know, over the past 2-3 years, some people that I knew were finally able to retire, and then within a couple of months they passed away. They never got the chance to actually start working on what they say they wanted to work on. I remember a friend of my mom's, so happy being retired. She moved back to the country she was born in, Curacao, where I'm actually also from. And within a couple of months she passed away. So freaking sad. And it got me thinking, Why would I wait till I'm ready to retire for me to start working on what I want? And I'm sorry if I keep repeating myself, but no matter your situation, right? If you have student loans, if you have no money to spend right now, if you don't have a job, make sure you do something in order for you to get the thing you need so you start changing your life. If it means starting content creation, do that. Oftentimes we underestimate ourselves. There are a lot of people on the internet, unfortunately, making crazy content. And I'm not talking crazy as in positive, but weird as content. And they get a lot of following. Why wouldn't you get following if you have value to contribute? Think about that. So what other choice do you have? Anyway, that's the video for today. I hope you found value. If so, like, share, subscribe, comment. Tell me in the comment sections, what goals are you going to start working on today? Not this year, today, after you finish watching this video. If you made it this far, thank you for your time. And as usual, I'll see you in the next one.